What's up, nerds and nerdettes and we little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big John the G who Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Alright, what's up? Welcome back to another Midday Monologue Monday. And I'm shooting this beforehand, so I'm not going to be down at the bench. It's been getting a little dark since it's that time of year for me to get down and do it early enough. So for right now, for the meantime, we're going to be doing it like this. So I wanted to talk to you about filler games. Specifically, guess what? Filler games that are good for Halloween. There's a few of them out there. There's actually more than a few, but I'll be trimming that number down just to make it quick. And we'll be talking about the fast-paced games that you can get down to the table, get played out, and have fun before a half hour is done in most cases. All right, so I'll see you down the table. All right, everyone, thank you for joining me down here at the table. Now, we've discussed me, the 20-Sided Warriors, over this last month, a lot of different horror games, Halloween-style games, whether they're zombie-related, Cthulhu-related, vampire-related, or just terror-related. And we've had a lot of fun doing that. And some of the games I've talked about have been filler games, but I don't believe specifically talked about filler games for Halloween yet this week. So I have gone over a few games, as I said, that are filler games in other episodes. I've talked about Nosferatu. I've talked about Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space. We've talked about Bang, the Walking Dead card game. Tiny Epic Zombies we've talked about. That barely fits in for, that runs an hour at least. Doesn't really fit into a filler game, but if you know the game well enough and you're playing with players that play it fast enough, you could kill it in under an hour. So I guess it's fillerish. Fillerish. That should be a new category for board games. Fillerish. I like that. I think I might do a whole thing on fillerish games. But for right now, I'm not doing that. For right now, I'm talking about filler games that are sweet for Halloween. The candy of games, so to speak. And there are three games that I didn't really get around to talking about. And since it's getting down to crunch time there, and it is almost the hollow of the ween, I thought I'd just throw these out today for our Midday Monologue Monday. Now, two of these games are my Steve Jackson games. They've come up a few times over the last couple of years that me and the 20-Sided Warriors have been doing the Two Gun Pixie Presents Legendary Gaming. And the other game is by another company. I think it may have come up once or twice, maybe. Not sure. But they're definitely coming up now. So why don't we check out what these three games are. All right, I want to talk about one of the Steve Jackson games first. And this is a game that's good for 2 to 6 players, ages 10 and up. And, it should run you 5 or 10 minutes. Now, that's a filler game for you. And this game is called Cthulhu Dice. The tentacle's coming up for us. Now, Cthulhu Dice, or actually, they should have called the game, I know I'm being a nitpicker here, they should have called the game Cthulhu Die, which has a double entendre, which is even cooler. And the reason I say that is because it only comes with one die. It doesn't come with more than one, so it wouldn't be Cthulhu Dice. Yes, I'm nitpicking. So this comes with a custom 12-sided die with several symbols, icons on them. And it also comes with a fistful of beads. I think it's 18 beads that you can use as sanity counters. This game is very simple, very easy. One player is the caster. He chooses a target. And he's going to roll the 12-sided die and against that victim and see what the results are. And depending on what the results are, himself or the target could lose a sanity. They could trade a sanity. One could gain the other's sanity, or Cthulhu himself could gain the sanity. Yeah, this is a game of cult versus cult. And each player is a cultist trying to make themselves the power base of the cult, So you got to take out the other players because they are all crazy. But not you, my friends. No, you are never the crazy one. Now, this is a really fast game, especially when you start playing like down to low numbers like 3 and especially 2. Wow, this game is going to belt back and forth real fast. So during the turn, as I was saying, one player is the caster and the other player is the target, but the turn is not over after the caster casts a spell. No, my friends, that is not over. That is only half of the turn. The other half of the turn, the target, the victim, gets to retaliate. Now, one thing that a few of my players have had trouble understanding, at least initially, after a few turns they get it, but initially going in I have a little trouble understanding is the target is still the target. For that turn, whoever is the caster for that full turn, and the target is the target. So you have to be very careful about the terminology of the icons on the die, because even though you are attacking the caster, if it says target loses a sanity, that's still you. Yeah, things are a little crazy, a little maddening. And the game ends when one player alone has sanity and the others don't. Or if none have sanity and the great Cthulhu himself wins, then again, Cthulhu always wins in the end. So this game is really fast. I would say when you get down to 2 players, it is bang, 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 bang. It's a rapid fire back and forth. In fact, so much so that I and the others have lost track, especially on 2-player games, mostly on 2-player games, sometimes who's the attacker and who is the target, the victim. And it's because of that very reason I'm contemplating getting a second Cthulhu dice game. Cthulhu die. I've already kvetched about that. I'm thinking about getting a second one. I think the one I have is a green die, so I'm thinking about getting like a red die. And this way on each turn, the attacker, and only the attacker during that turn uses the red die, and only the target during that turn would use the green die. It might be an easier way to remember exactly what your title is from which part of the turn to which part of the turn it goes. But yeah, you get this game down, and you and your friends will have this banged out before your buddy comes back from the kitchen with a beer. Possibly, anyway. I've had a few games of this go under 5 minutes. It's so fast. It's, again, especially with the 2 players. I've had this game just like machine gun out, just to get those dice rolls going. You both know the symbols and the icons. It's just roll, 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 bam, 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 bam. Woo! A little Ric Flair there for you. All right, so yeah, definitely Cthulhu Die you might want to think about as a nice party filler game. And you know, all these games, but especially this one, is really great party-wise, because you don't have to be at a party filled with other tabletop nerds. This is so fast, takes up such little amount of room that you can bring this to a party where you just know maybe 1 or 2 people there are gamers, and you can get your fix for the night in a couple of minutes. Yeah, you might want to think about that. Now, this next game is by a company called Looney Labs. Looney Labs is best known for their hit series, Flux. And that is exactly what I want to talk about. Specifically, 2 of the Fluxes. Flux is an extremely simple system. It's an amazingly simple system. Depending on how many players you have, and depending on luck, it could go from 10 to maybe 40 minutes, this game. So it does kind of tap out there pretty close to not being a filler game. And the more players you have, the longer it could go. That is a bit of a problem. But every game that I have played of it has the same generic setup where the players have 3 cards in their hand, and then what they're going to get to do is they're going to get to draw a card, and they're going to get to play a card. That's it. That is the entirety of the rules that you need to know going into this game. Now, what makes this game interesting, what keeps it in a constant state of flux, is that the cards you play will change these rules. Maybe a card comes into play that will allow you to have 5 cards in your hand. Maybe another card will come into play that will allow you to draw 3 and play 2. And then there's the cards that will give you the goals, the end game needs, what you are going to have to accomplish to win the game, or keep the others from winning the game. Now, most of the win conditions revolve around having 3 or maybe 2 cards of a set, and they will allow you to win. And that's what makes this interesting, is because it gives it a bit of a take that, because you can see the other players, you know, and if they have a bad poker face, you're going to be able to see totally that there's something going on. They see the win condition on the path before them, and to throw down a new goal, and you get to see that shatter. Oh, man, I live for those moments. Not as much as T-Bone does, but I live for those moments, let me tell you. And that will definitely keep the game going. And not as badly as a Munchkin-style game, where, when people start getting around 7th, 8th level, there's just such a constant attack on that person and the next person to reach that level and the next, that it goes on and on and on and on. So this has a little bit of a feel like that, but it seems a little bit better controlled, a little bit more reeled in. So if you're familiar with the Munchkin game and that problem, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it is present here, like I said, but it's not as big, as prominent of a problem with this game. So now you can mix these games up. That was the other thing I wanted to mention. You can mix these games up, Flux games, since they are all pretty much the same game with different skins, different covers on them. They're mixable. They're mashable. Last year, me and Alex and was Ryan with us? Maybe. We decided to mash up for Halloween Cthulhu and Flux, and we thought it would be brilliant. And it was fun for about the first 15-20 minutes. The game went on over an hour, and it got to the point where I think we just ended the game. I think we just quit because it was just getting too much. Or we let somebody win when we could have just stopped them just to end the game. And that problem came from the fact that there was way too many possibilities between the two decks and their goals, and too many cards being mixed up in, while you're trying to make a match set. Now, instead of dealing with just zombies, now you get Cthulhu cards in your hand, and if it's not a Cthulhu goal, it's an even bigger waste of time, and it just adds on to the chance that you're not going to get the cards you need to win, and it did just seem to go on forever. So I would not advise that, unless you know some way of taking out certain cards here, certain cards there. Maybe people have already house ruled a way to do this so that problem doesn't arise up, but I have yet to look into that. One game's enough for me, and it's enough fun, and it's enough enjoyment, and it takes just long enough. So those are going to be other games. If you're looking for a card-based game, that's going to be a fun one to throw down. It's not going to take up a heck of a lot of room, so again, you can bring it to a party where you know that there's only going to be a few gamers there. And this way, it's not going to feel like it is intruding upon the entire night. You and your friends get a little bit of a blast. Maybe you introduce somebody new to the game. Any of these games could be interesting gateway games as well, because they are so simple and easy to play. Anyway, let's take a look at the last one. Now, the last game is a game that's come up a few times. Not this version of it. I wanted to bring attention to this version of it, besides the fact that to exclude it just because it's come up before means that these aren't three of my favorite, because this one definitely is. So I wanted to include it again, but I decided to change it up and talk about a newer version, a newer product version of this that I think is just perfect. And if you're going to get this game, I think this is the one to get. That game is by Steve Jackson Games. It has come up a few times on this show before in different episodes, and that game is Zombie Dice. Yeah, Zombie Dice is a great game. Me and Tommy V have probably played that game more than any other game we've played in the years that we've known each other, outside of RPGs. That game is probably the number one most played game. We've taken it with us on trips. We've taken it with us out of the country. It's been all over with us. But there's a version of it just came out last year. I believe it was late last year. And that is the Horde Edition. Now, if you like Zombie Dice but you haven't gotten it yet, you are going to be glad that you waited, because this is the one you're going to want to get. Now, Zombie Dice is going to run, 10, 20 minutes. I find that true. I don't think I've had a game run more than 30 minutes, and I think I've had some games run as fast as maybe 10 minutes. Now, what's different about the Horde is that this brings together everything thus far published officially by Steve Jackson Games. The Horde Edition is the base game, so you're going to get the base core dice for the game, because that's really all it is. It's just a dice game. That's it. No cards to worry about, no tokens, no chits, no meeples, just dice. Just dice to chuck, and that's a good thing. So you're going to get the base game, but you're also going to get the two expansions. Zombie Dice 2 Double Feature, which adds 3 new dice. It adds a white die for the hunk, a pink die for the hottie, and a red die for Santa Claus, because this is kind of based on B-movie zombies, which is why these two expansions feel thematically perfect. And a nice new twist is that if you have the hottie brain or the hunk brain, and you're rolling the other die, so if you have the hunk's brain and you're rolling, and the hottie die is one of the dice that you have, and that comes up the shotgun, not only do you take the shotgun damage, but that die saves the other one. Those two can save each other. It's back and forth. So that makes it really interesting. And Santa likes to bring gifts. So sometimes Santa might bring you a football helmet. That'll let you take an extra shotgun shot. Let you take an extra shotgun blast. Oh, and there's also an energy drink can. If you drink this, it'll turn the runaways into brains for you. Oh, and if you eat Santa's brain, his brain is worth 2 brains. Because he's Santa. That is a really fun add-in. Like I said, it continues the whole B-horror film feel of the zombie dice games. And the third one is called the School Bus. And this is a custom 12-sided die, which represents a yellow school bus. So your zombie has apparently lucked out by finding this yellow 4-wheeled lunchbox. Whoa! Or whoa. Zombie thumbs up. Zombie Fonzie finds you. So the die, it has 2 brains, has 3 brains, has double shotguns, it has stop, it has yield, it has a bunch of different effects on it. You may end up losing everything. You could end up just losing your turn. It's really interesting. And what I like most about it is you can't use it as one of your initial 3 dice on your first roll. First roll of the turn, not of the game. Each time your first roll comes up, you can't use that. You have to use 3 of the regular dice. You get this the choice of the school bus. If you're going to be re-rolling, if you're pushing your luck, then you can use the school bus as one of your dice. And now there's a chant associated with zombie dice. One more roll, one more roll, one more roll. As a way for the other players to egg on whoever is the current player, get them to push their luck to the point where they're going to screw up and not be able to cash out and get all the brains that they've been accumulating for that turn. Because you need 13 to win. We've started another chant. We never play the game without both expansions in it. And our chant is, get on the bus, get on the bus, get on the bus. And it works for the same reason. It's fun, it's challenging, and it gets the other person to, potentially wipe out all their points. So that's always good for you. Not them, but it's always good for you. And it continues the fun. I almost wish they'd do something else and maybe a third expansion with a 8-sided or maybe a D4 involved in there somehow, but I'm blank. I don't know what else they could really do, and I haven't heard anything about a Zombie Dice 4, so who knows? But that is a great game. Now, this Horde Edition also comes with a cloth bag, so you can just throw all the dice in there, because you got to blindly choose the dice. You're always rolling 3 dice every turn, and you re-roll the ones that run away, and if you have less than 3 dice, then you're going to go in the bag, and you're going to equal your hand out to 3 in order to roll those and see what happens next. 3 shotgun blasts, you're dead. Unless you got the helmet, then it's going to take you 4. Feet run away, they get to be re-rolled. Shotgun blasts go to the side, brains go to the side, and when you finally decide to cash out, if you haven't been blown away, you get to keep your brains. It's all very simple. But the Horde Edition also comes with a score pad to help you keep track of that, which is very cool, very handy. So, one of my final videos for Halloween, this is the final week of it. I wanted to bring you 3 more filler games that I think are really fun that you could bring to Halloween parties, even parties without hardcore gamers there. These are good gateway games. I think everyone will have fun for a few minutes, and it's not going to overtake the entire party. Now, if you're having a specific tabletop party, then by all means, you're going to want these games on hand before you start your big game. In between, while you're setting the game down and setting the new game up, these really make fun, and they'll keep your mind on horror and Halloween. All right, so thank you everyone for checking us out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Thank you so much for subscribing to Two Gun Pixie right here on YouTube, for liking our videos, for commenting, and most of all, thank you so much for sharing. Big Giant G and the 20-Sided Warriors right here. We love it, man. It's the greatest way for you to say that you've enjoyed the show is when you share it. So it's almost Halloween. We just got a few days away. Let me know what games you like for Halloween. What quick filler games you would have put on that list. And I'll see you tomorrow for Tabletop Takeout Tuesday.